I was working the night shift alone at our local coffee shop. For reference, I'm a female and was 19 when this happened. Around 9 p.m., a man walks into the shop. He looked ordinary, bald head, button-down shirt, and brown pants. Nothing about him said creep, but something felt off. He orders his drink, and I start making it. As I'm making it, he starts asking me questions. At first, they were normal questions, like, how's it going and stuff like that. Then he starts asking questions that make me realize he's definitely a creep. He started asking if I was working alone. Do I have a boyfriend? What's my name, and do I live around here? I lied about all the answers, except my name. My name tag said Rebecca right on it. He then asked me if we can get a drink soon. I tell him that I'm only 17, which also was a lie, but I wanted him to feel uncomfortable by asking someone out who was so much younger than him. He had to be in his 50s. He looked upset and said, "Sorry, you can never tell these days." I handed him his drink and told him goodbye, but before he walked out, he gave me a wink. I shuddered and thought what a total creep. I wish I could have locked the front door, but we still had over an hour before we closed, and my boss would kill me if I did that. At this point, after the creep encounter and all the water that I drank that day, my bladder was going to explode. I made sure no customers were in the parking lot about to come in, and then went into our bathroom to do my business real quick. I closed the stall door and sat down, but no more than 5 seconds of me being in the bathroom did I hear the front door bell go off. A customer had just walked in. I called out, "Give me a second, be right there," loudly so the customer could hear me from the bathroom. I was finishing up when suddenly the bathroom door opened. I froze because this was the employee bathroom. Guests were not allowed in it, and I was the only one working this shift tonight. My heart raced as I heard footsteps walking slowly to my stall door. My mind was racing who this could be when the footsteps stopped in front of my stall. I said the only thing that I could think of. "Hello? This is an employee bathroom only. You can't be in here." I could see a pair of brown shoes at the bottom of my stall, and that's when I heard the deep breathing. I knew that this was a male. I was absolutely terrified. Whoever was on the other side of the stall was intentionally not answering me. I was about to start dialing 911 on my cell phone when from the other side of the stall, they said, "Rebecca." My heart dropped. It was that creep from earlier. I felt like a trapped animal. "Rebecca," he said again, "I know you're in there." I knew I had to act. There wasn't much time. If he was able to come into the employee girl's bathroom while I was alone, there was nothing that he would not do. "Rebecca," he said, "I found you on Facebook. You lied about being 17. That's when the stall lock started to jiggle. He was trying to get in. This was it. I had to act now. I slid the lock back and kicked open the stall door with all my might. I saw the creep fly back against the wall, momentarily stunned. We locked eyes for a second, and then I swung at him. My fist connected with his nose, and I heard a crack. He fell back against the wall in agony, and I knew that this was my only chance. I sprinted through the bathroom door and then out the front doors. I ran for 2 blocks until I felt safe. He wasn't following me, and then I called the police. When they arrived at the coffee shop, the creep was gone. I remember being so angry that he ran away. I wanted to see him cuffed and thrown in the back of a cop car. I haven't seen the man since this happened. The investigation is still ongoing, and I no longer work the night shift. I'd like to start off by saying the coffee shop that I work for is not a Starbucks, and we have no affiliation with Starbucks. We got a customer one time who placed a large order of hot coffees. As I was about to ring her out, she tried to pay with a Starbucks gift card. I politely told her that we are not a Starbucks and we cannot take that gift card. The woman looked at me like I kidnapped her firstborn child. She said that's nonsense and tried to hand me the gift card again. I politely told her again that this coffee shop is not a Starbucks and that we have no affiliation with them. We cannot take the gift card. This is where things turned very ugly. The lady grabbed one of the hot coffees and threw it at my co-worker standing next to me. It exploded all over her face, and my co-worker screamed in agony. I then watched in horror as the lady started grabbing the hot coffees and started throwing them at other customers and employees. She was screaming how insulted she was and how her gift card should work here. A random customer tackled her to the ground. There was hot coffee spilled everywhere. We called the police as the customer continued to hold the crazy lady down. She was arrested on the spot for assault. My co-worker ended up having to go to the hospital for third-degree burns on her face and even needed a skin graft. They plan on pressing charges against that crazy lady, and a court date is pending. It's terrifying what lengths people will go to, even over a gift card. I work at our local coffee shop. I was working the mid-shift. We have a strict policy on solicitation and panhandling. We unfortunately get a lot of homeless people who come in and ask for money. This man comes into the coffee shop. He smelled like he hadn't showered for weeks, had raggedy clothes on, and I knew that he had to be homeless. He started handing out cards to the patrons that said he was deaf, homeless, and in need of money. You could see all the patrons shrink away uncomfortably as he approached them. I had the unfortunate job of going up to him and telling him that he cannot panhandle in the shop. When I did, the man froze. His jaw quivered and his face turned bright red. He howled at the top of his lungs. I took a step back and the man lunged at me. Thankfully, my co-workers were right behind me and were able to wrestle the guy away and throw him out the door. But he did not stop there. The man continued to scream at the sky. He then proceeded to bash his head into the door window. The glass splintered and blood splattered. He was banging his fists, jumping up and down, saying that he was going to kill every one of us. Thankfully, there was actually an on-duty police officer sitting in his squad car right in the parking lot. The cop tackled the crazy man to the ground and put him in handcuffs. It was over as quickly as it started. I felt bad for our customers because there were young kids inside who were now definitely scarred from the experience. And unfortunately, I was the one who had to go clean off the blood and spit from the cracked window. I think the real horror story here is that I never got a raise.